Ew. Oh, this one. Takes time to see. Oh, I think I'm coming up now. Hey, what's up, traders? If anyone's coming, yeah, I'm on live. So, hey, what's up, traders? Good morning, depending where you are, or good evening, and welcome to Forex Gym. This is daily Forex analysis for 9th of April 2020. So we're gonna jump in later and start analyzing these four currency pairs, which I mentioned in the title. Actually, I need that too as well. Let me have a look. Starting the euro dollar, I do believe. So we're gonna be analyzing these four currency. I'm gonna might be covering some other things in between. Might be mentioning about something about psychology, anything that will help you to be a better trader. So let me just have a look at this one. I want to have a look. So euro dollar. Sorry, no, let me have a look. So we need these. So we're gonna start with this four currency, and let me just copy that one. And then I'm gonna start. There we go. Let me just put that one in here. So these four currencies, I just still mention it down here for me as well to have a look. So if let's see as a trader, there we go. So I'm going to start with a euro against US dollar and discuss any potential trades in we're going to expect today as of the day trading opportunities goes. And also you're welcome to ask me questions. Just leave it in the chat on your right hand side, and then I'm going to be addressing if there's going to be any questions there or any particular currency you want me to have a look at it. I will do that, but I also do not want to make this a video too long. I don't want to make it like 3-hour video, so in between, if we're gonna fit in anything between like half an hour or 40 minutes, then I will definitely have a look at it. And as well as if you have any other questions, you're just more than welcome to pop it in a chat. So without further ado, just jump into the MetaTrader. Start with the euro against the US dollar. So we got these daily time frames up here. Let me see if the pen is working properly. Yeah, pen is up here. So we got this daily time frame. I did discuss this one yesterday as well. Some of the currencies I also discussed yesterday. I do want to have a look at them again. So the price has not really done much since yesterday. We can see that it went to this trend line and tested this weekly pivot here, and then since then it's just handrailing this trend line. It's kind of not really doing anything much. If we have a look at the hourly time frame, just like handrailing this trend line and going up and down, so it's chopping around, so it's not much action going on. The reason why it could be, we have a lot of news coming out today, so you need to keep that in mind before jumping into any trades. So let's check the Forex Factory. We got quite decent news out today, which will normally does affect the markets. So we got the OPEC meetings for all day today. That's for the energy sector, but it can have an impact on the US dollar. And we also have a ECB monetary policy meetings on the euro side. We have employment change and unemployment rate on the US for the Canada, and we have the unemployment claims on the US dollar side. So we have quite a lot of news out today. So keep that in mind before taking that trade, because if you take the trade and then you have a very tight stop loss, you have 10, 15 or even 20 pips, and then there's going to be a news out like in the next minute or two, and if it has a big move, then you're gonna suffer that slippage, even if you use the stop loss. And if you do not use the stop loss, then and the price goes against you, you're not gonna have enough time to close the trade, and you're gonna be down really big. So I would advise anyone, especially if you're a new trader, to use the stop loss. That will help you to keep you in the game and don't take a too big of a loss, because at the end, if you take a 20% loss, it will impact. First, it's going to have a big effect on your psychology, and it will impact on your future trades, and then after that it will affect your account balance as well. So let's move to the euro dollar. So on this occasion, normally what the price likes to do before that big news out, it might chop around and doesn't do much. Let me bring up a pen. Yes, okay, now it's not working. Let's bring up a pen. No, well, okay, now it's not working. I'll put the hotkeys on it, but it doesn't like me anymore. So, but what the price likes to do, it can just like chop around, go like this, and then when the news is out, it can go either up or down, depending on the news, how it's going to impact that currency. So we got the euro and US out for today. So it can have a big impact on one of these, or both of the currencies, really, because we got on euro side ECB, and we got on the US side the claims out. So it can have an impact. So keep that in mind before jumping into the trade, because what happens that you might have a big loss. So for now, depending what the currency gonna do, we have the UK session is already open, so but it's not really moving much. I did mention that yesterday. I want to see the price to come up and break this trend line and this weekly pivot, which already been tested in here, but we can see that it has not done it yet. So pretty much the view is similar to what it was yesterday. So it has not changed much. It hasn't moved much. So I'm waiting for either the price comes up and breaks this trend line and also this weekly pivot, and then continues. Ideally, I want to see the price come up to these highs, these 4-hourly highs here, which is at 109.55. Then I will be looking for the retracement towards for the downside, and retracement towards down. Then I will be getting onto the long side. However, if that doesn't happen and price continues to fall, as we can see, the bigger trend is down, and we can see, yeah, even on the daily time frames, the only concern is these daily bullish, but I still view it as when the price came down and come on, when the price came down and tested these. This pen is not coming up. I don't know why. So when the price came down and took out this low down here, that's the reaction of this one. So for now, it's still standing. My view is still the same. So it's just a waiting game. As I said yesterday, we got this waiting game, see what the price is gonna do, and I think that we're gonna see some moves today after that news. We got the news out of the way. We're gonna see what the price is gonna do. Is they're gonna go up or continue to fall towards downside. So either of these two, really. All right, let me get rid of this. I just downloaded this pen, so it's and I put that hotkeys you got, but it doesn't really. Okay, now it's working. It does not really working as I started to go live. So it's just a waiting game in here. See what it's gonna do. If the price continues to break this trend line and 4-hourly pivot and comes up and closes strong, then we're gonna be looking for the retracement. For the retracement, if the price comes up, let's say test this, we got these two highs here, 4-hourly time frames in here and in here, so it might have some mild reaction. That's what we're gonna look for, and the retracement. About 20 pip retracement down to these 4-hourly lows, maybe even to this test to this weekly pivot, which if the price manages to break, then that will be our entry for the long side. However, if the price decides to go down, collapse down, I do want to see for the price to come down and break of these lows coming down for the, that should find a support. Should find a support in here at 108.30 zone. We got some price action going on here, so you might find a support in here. And then I would be looking a strong close and then a retracement towards this one, so 30, and retracement towards these highs here. So these highs will do as well, about 108.50. So again, the view has not really changed much. But then we got the news, so we have to get this one out of the way first. So this was the euro dollar, and view is the same. So we're gonna continue to, let's go have a look at here. So next one we got Aussie against Australian dollar. Actually, I was looking at that currency earlier, and it did the move. Yeah, tested that pivot. I was just looking at it just before, about 15 minutes before going live. It has not done the setup. I was looking for like two pips, two more pips to come down, but it has not really done that, and just continue to continue rally up. Now I have missed that one, but that happens. You cannot get every single trade. You do miss out trade. Everyone miss out trades. You cannot get every single trade. No one can, even unless you have some like super smart software, which for the normal retail traders generally don't have it, because it costs so much money that normally retail traders can't afford that. And even with the standard robots people like to use, they do miss out trades as well if they're not perfect. And I don't really encourage traders to use the trading robots. So I'm not towards the trading robots. One of the reason why, and probably that's the main reason, would be because if you buy some trading robot from someone else, which promises you whatever that promises you, $1,000 every week or a month, it doesn't matter, then that software is working for you. You're not really working, you're not really learning the trading. So you just have that software, which over the time it's most likely going to underperform, and when it's going to start going into this losing streak, then you will be wondering like, okay, that's probably not working anymore. So you'll be looking for another trading software or trading strategy which will give you a better result. So that's like this vicious cycle. So you're going, especially for the new traders, they're looking for that high win rate strategy, which will give them like 95% win rate. But actually, if the win rate is too high, it's not actually good. So you need to aim for the win rate which is lower. Let's say between 50% win rate is pretty good, and that's what the most professional traders have, that 50 or even 60%. You can still make money even if your win rate is 30%. So it does not necessarily means that if you have 95% win rate, that's most likely going to underperform. So it's better to have something like 50% rather than 95%. But when people market that stuff, they know that more always means better. So people, especially if you have no idea how to trade, and then giving you all these I don't know, the screenshots of the profits, and you just get excited like, okay, I'm gonna buy this software or strategy for $100, and then it's gonna give me thousands. I was watching earlier on YouTube this one of the YouTubers meant to be a trader, is saying that if you join my charts, I don't know whatever chart she had, you're gonna make, if you invest $10, you're gonna be making 100 in a week, or if you invest $100, you're gonna be making 1,000 in a week, which is absolute rubbish. If you think of it, it's just like a simple math. And well, there's one more thing she said, that she was advising to do not over leverage. So that was, I think it was like a 10 tips or something, I can't really remember. So she was saying that use this, I'm just saying these 10 tips, and one of them was do not over leverage. So the only way to get to turn 100 USD into 1,000 is to over leverage. It's just like a very simple math. So to turn $100 in Forex into 1,000 within a week, which means also at 5 days, because the Forex market is closed on Saturday, Sunday. So that means in 5 days you're gonna turn 100 USD into 1,000. That means more than 100% return every single day within that 5 days, which is, you cannot do that unless you use the big leverage. So it's like very contradicting, and she did not really look like someone who is earning that amount of money as well. So it just too many marketers trying to get you their either strategy or any product what they were selling and getting to their charts and sign up with that softwares and all that nonsense, but it does not gonna give you that result. It works for the new traders because they generally do not know what they're doing, so they're looking for that safe return or safe profits to get that high win rate. But it does not work that way. You have to commit into trading. It does not just, oh, I'm gonna go to that course for a weekend and I'm gonna learn trading. It does not work that way. Trading takes years to adopt, because you need to get that mindset, and that mindset takes a long time. This is not something you will learn in a week or even in a year. It takes a long time. So back to the Aussie Australian dollar. So starting with the daily time frames, this one is going pretty well for the upside, so I'm looking for more to the upside on this one to follow through. So let me see if I can draw a trend line. So this is already not valid anymore. We have this, let me see if it's, we have this daily trend line here still in play. So that might be where the price is going. The weekly chart. So with this weekly candle looking good. Obviously it's not closed yet, but it's looking, for now, looking good, unless the news comes out and it will affect to negatively on the currency. So for now it's looking, my view is towards upside, and I was looking to the retracement towards, I was hoping that will break and comes down a few more pips, but it did not, so I missed out on that entry. I think it might come down even more, so it does not really looking that strong for now. I think the price wants to come down, and even there should have been a lot of orders coming in on this. When the price came down here, tested this daily pivot, I think a lot of buy orders went to this direction. So now it has the price of this reaction. It has this nice candle, and we have this an hourly candle, which for now it looks like an inverted hammer, but we have still about 40 minutes before the candle is closed. So the price might start coming down. Oops, let me just get rid of that. Okay, not doing. So the price might start coming down and then take out this low, because there's going to be when the orders, when most likely the stop's going to be somewhere down here just below this low, and when the price comes down it will suck all these orders, this stop orders, and then the price gonna continue towards upside. That's what I'm looking at. So I'm waiting for this to come down. Let's get rid of that. So I want to see the price coming down and taking, just marginally come down and take out this low here. About, so what we're looking around 61.93, around that area, 61.93. Then I will be looking to get onto, actually let me see what's going on 4 hourly time frames. So we have these, actually that looks interesting. We have this price action going on here. We got this price action, that's good. So 61.80, actually that's a bit further down. 61.80, we have this price action here, which can act as a support. So let's see if the price decides to come down, and also if it comes down that way, so it will be this low will be taken out. So any stops or any other orders for the buy side, it will suck in. So we're gonna wait for the price to do that, if it's gonna do it, or it can also, of course, can continue towards upside. But I'm hoping it will come down, take out this low, and come down to that let's say 61, around 61.80 zone, which is also this 1 hourly low down here. So let's see what's the price gonna do, because this is now a bit too far away. It might take some time, probably after the news is out, to do that, because it's around 50 pips away now. And let's see if it's any. Yeah, for now it looks like more upside than downside. I don't really want to take a trade towards short, so I'm looking for a more long side plays. If the price gives me an opportunity to retrace more down, then I will be looking to get onto that trade towards a long side. But it has to retrace much more than that, and now we see that the price went to this 60 to 30 hour 60 to 30 area. So I'm looking for the what was that, 61.80 zone. So it's about 50 pips, so it's quite a bit of a distance. More likely it's going to do it after the news is out. And as of the stops would be concerned, it's a bit early to say, depends how, but let's just have an estimate on that one. As of the stops, if the price comes down at 61.80, then for the stops 61.80, you would be looking about 25 pip stop. We want to place this stop below these lows here, these two lows here, and this spike, and also keep it a bit away. So 25, you can get away with a 30 pip stop as well, so it will be a bit further, because what the price likes, if the price comes down, and if you place your stop just below this spike price, if it's enough orders there, the price, of course, that price sees that and comes down, and might just like marginally come down. It will be enough to take out your stop, and then you see that price just continue towards your direction, which is not very not very pleasant feeling. But then it happens now and then, and no one is guaranteed that it's not gonna happen. Even I get it sometimes, but you're just gonna learn it to live with it, really. Once you get into once you had like dozen of them, then it doesn't really affect you, and once you like get that mindset, you're just fine with it. So, but that takes time. It does not happen overnight. So this is Aussie against Australian dollar. What we have. So next one is Euro against Aussie. Oh, I like this currency. Euro against Aussie. This currency is what is it? Oh, Euro against Aussie. So we have this trend line on the 4-hour time frame, and an hourly time frame. It's the same trend line. And now the price has broken this resistance. I think it was support for this was in a higher time frames. Okay, it's on a monthly time frame, so I will not. I can't say if it has broken, because in a monthly time frame we still got like 3 weeks before the monthly candle is closed. So let's go to a shorter time frame. So the trend looking down for the short-term trading, and I want to see the price to come up to for now it will be a daily pivot. We have this nice trend line up here, so it's probably gonna take some time before it's up there. So we got this high here, and then we got this high here. I would not try to get into these highs. It will be a bit too close. Either gonna be this high here, so that will be the first entry, and the second entry would be this daily pivot, because this is very close to this trend line. Here, let me get rid of that again. Okay, this hotkey is not working. So we got these two options. So the first first potential entry will be at 17480 zone up here. 17480. That will be the first entry in here, and we would be looking for the stop-wise. You need to give it a bit more space on that one. I would say 35 pips. You need the 35 pips on that. And if that happens, that the price comes up and you get stopped out, then that will be the second entry would be up to this daily pivot, which is at 175.24 area. 174.24 no, 175.24. 175.24 area. So that will be the second entry I would be looking to short the trade. And for the stop loss, gonna be probably less. So if we get onto the, call it 175.20, you can't really always get the exact entry on the, let's say like 175.24, and it's good to get it a bit lower. Let's say 175.20 or 21 would be a good entry for that one. So just call it for the 175.20. We'll be looking for this stop loss. You can even get away with the 20 pip stop, because if the if the price continues to go higher, and it will certainly, if it breaks this trend line, then I would not be interested to get onto the short side on this one. So 20 or 25 pip stop, that will be more than enough for this trade. So if the price continues to edge higher, then we're gonna say that, okay, my analysis was not right, and simple as that. So as I said, I'm looking for the short on the short side, not on the long side. So that will be the analysis for the short side play. I don't see any other potential, so unless other than this two entry here, which is one is up to this highs, which is at 174.80 with a, I think I said 35 pip stop, and the second entry would be at where this daily pivot is at the moment, which is same as this trend line. Trend line being so it's been tested. It's been tested a few times, so there are a chance that the price will. Again, not on a 4-hourly time frame. So there's a chance that you might break it, but for now it's more of a unlikely. But of course, it's a probability. Trading is a probability game, so you can't. No one knows exactly what's gonna happen. Doesn't matter if you got 50 years experience or 20 years experience. That's why we are playing this probability game with the market and see how it's gonna go. So this is my view on euro against Australian dollar. Again, we got the news. I want to empathize on that. Euro, we got news out on euro, so it might, depending on the speech, is how it's gonna affect that. And this is euro against Australian dollar. If you do not know this currency moves a lot, so you need to be aware of it moves way more than the other currency. Let's say like euro dollar. They don't move. Euro dollar generally moves pretty slow, but euro and Australian euro against Aussie moves a lot. So you can have a very big move. So be aware of that before you. If there is a news out just before you're gonna place the trade, it's better to miss out on that trade rather than suffer a big slippage. The very good example would be, I think it was a couple of weeks ago. Was it? Can't remember. Let's see. I think check out this. Yeah, the daily time frame. So on the this was on 9th of. Oh, it's in a month ago now. Okay. So I can't believe it's the time went. So it's about a month ago. The price had this 1,000 pip move in 1 hour. So it can have a big move depending on the news. If there's a news which is something significant, it will have an impact on that. And then this currency and also the British pounds against Japanese yen, these two currencies move a lot, so you need to keep that in mind. There was quite a few traders who they blew their accounts on that. I think that was where the virus thing kind of started and escalated, and yeah, everything went to the you know where. So that's what happens, and it has this big move. And there was a few traders, well, that one I know, that they just blew up their accounts. So you need to be cautious if you, especially if you do not use these stop loss, unless you have like huge amounts. Your account is pretty big, and your trading size is very tiny. Then you might have get away with that. But if you're trading reasonable size and your account is not that big, you can yeah, you can lose. And when you're not using stop loss, then you're gonna have a margin call, and you're gonna lose yeah, almost all of your account, and even go to the negative. So you need to keep that. Risk is a big factor. That's like one of the reasons the traders kill their accounts. So you need to take you need to be a responsible trader, let's say that way, and don't take too much of a risk. Like some traders take 20 or 50% of their capital. They risk 50% of their capital. That's like insane. I never advocate on that. Of course, you can make big money, but then if you are a beginner trader and you just started trading or been trading like 2 or 3 months, the chances of you turning that the amount, whatever amount you have, into big money, chances of that is pretty slim. So you need to be responsible on that. Let's move to the next currency. So it was Euro against Aussie. So the last one, we got US dollar against Canadian dollar. USDCAD. Where is that USDCAD? There we go. So this one is also chopping around. This chop, I don't like this chop west. It was pretty nice moves in a few weeks back when this virus started to unleash and everyone started panicking and dumping all the investors dumping their money and shares. That was a pretty decent moves on the market, and now it's kind of going into again to that chop fest mode. Not too bad. I've seen the worst time than this, but now it's kind of going into the chop fest, so it's like not as big moves. When you have that big moves, like we've seen it in a few weeks back, then you coming back to this kind of slower volatility phase. Then you're just like you're craving for that more volatility. But we have to get used to. We have to adapt all the time because market conditions change, so you have to always be adaptive to the market conditions. So that's why that one size, when someone has that strategy they're offering on sale generally, and it's about 100 USD, whatever the money they are asking for the marketers, and the new traders just going into and buy that, hoping that they're gonna whatever that marketer is promising to make 1,000 or 2,000 pips every week. When too many people buy it, that strategy most likely it's not going to perform as well. That's why it's on the internet, and that's why that marketer is selling that for 100 USD. And if that strategy was performing as whatever he said, that you're gonna get you 1,000 pips every single week when they promise that. That means that he just want to get your money to do all his own stuff. So it does not sound legit when someone is selling their strategy for the very fraction of the cost, and then have this big promise that you're gonna be making this and that amount of money. No one can promise you to make certain amounts. Then I know that I've seen that the marketers, they promise that you're gonna be definitely making whatever that is, 1,000 USD every week. No one can promise you that, no matter what strategy they have, what kind of software they're using. No one can promise. The markets are very unpredictable, so it always moves. Something can happen, like we had this virus, so like you would not really predict that would have happened. So no one can promise you that, yeah, next year or two you're gonna be making 1,000 every week. So it just the common sense, use the common sense that the markets are unpredictable and there's nothing guaranteed in the market when it comes to markets. So it's not that. So once you get that mindset, it's you don't expect your expectations, you just manage your expectations. So I want to make 1,000 every week. It does not work that way. Generally, when the new traders they start, they have that the inflated expectations, because all these marketers, so many of them on social media, and that was like one of the reasons why I started this YouTube channel, that I want to, if I can save one or two people for buying that some strategy and then they killing their account and they wasting thousands of dollars, then I will be happy. So that was one of the reasons that I started this channel, that I want to get the word out that it's not that easy, that some institutions or some that trading experts, so-called trading experts, they say that trading is so easy to make money. It's not easy. Otherwise, if it was so easy, then ask yourself a question why it has such a fail rate. It's 90% fail rate. So 90% of the people, 90% of the retail traders, they lose money when they start trading. So if it was so easy, and if they all using that amazing strategy, it's so many marketers, they have this amazing strategy, that why it has such a big fail rate. So yeah, just ask yourself this question. So it takes a long time to develop as a trader and to become a profitable trader. Now, enough of that. So let's go to the last currency, US dollar against Canadian dollar. So let's have a look at the daily time frames. Let's bring up a pen. So we have these, let's go closer. It's going to be a better view for that, actually, not less. So we can see yesterday the price does not really do much. So it was like a waiting game, really. It has not done much. So the day before, the price, and they came down and tested this low here. It has not taken out this spike low. It got pretty close, but it has not really taken out. So maybe the price wants to come down and come down here and take out this low, because there's going to be a lot of orders down here. So the price always gravitates towards the orders. Any orders, it can be any orders. The stops are orders, so the price wants to do and gravitate towards that orders, any orders, their stop losses or filling orders towards alongside markets are there to fulfill orders, and price might want to come down and take out this low, get all that orders out, and then probably continue towards upside. So for now I'm looking, let's analyze actually on that. So on a daily time frame, it's not very certain for now that, okay, not certain, but it does not, I want to, it's more like a waiting game right now. So I want to see what's going to happen probably after that news is out, because this is we got the news on US dollar again and the Canadian dollar. So the both currencies, we got big news on the unemployment rates and unemployment change. Was it unemployment rates and unemployment claims. I don't think this one's gonna be positive, so it's probably, so we got expected on 50,000. I think it's gonna be greater than that, really. I don't think it's is it 50,000? No, it's 5,000. So I think it's gonna be much greater than that. I don't think it's 5,000. It's gonna be a lot more than that. So we're gonna see what's gonna be at, was it 1:30 that news is out on the UK time. So I do think that is gonna be a much greater number than 5,000. No, it's 500,000. Okay, it's K. I missed it. I think it's gonna be greater number than this. So we're gonna see and find out. And back to that one. So after that news out, so I'm probably less likely I'm gonna touch this currency touch this pair for now, because of that big news, unless I'm gonna go to the scalp trading, but I doubt, actually. Let's have a look at the scalp trade opportunities. we do have some moves. So the price coming down here. Let's see what we have. Yes, the price is up and down, so I do want to see this one to come down. So as of the day trade, I would not advise, unless you're taking the trade, which is you're gonna close it in the next hour or next few hours before that news out. So we got still quite a bit of time before that news is out, and we're gonna see if the price comes down and start breaking these lows, then I will be looking to the short that trade, and they're most likely gonna ride the at least down to this level, which is quite a decent good. It's about good to, okay, no, it's around 150 pips on that one. However, if the price continues to go higher, then I need to see the price breaking this trend line, and certainly shows me some strength. I do want to see a strong bullish candles before I get onto the long side. So this is a waiting game for now. We want to get that news out of the way, because I do think that is going to have an impact on this pair quite big. So we're gonna wait and see. If you are scalping, then there are some opportunities, because scalps, they don't last that long. So before that news is plenty of time to make some bit of profits. For now, let's see if the, I don't want to see the price coming down here. Now we have the retracement. Okay, this is too small. So we have the, so price came out and tested this 15-minute high here. I think the price might want to come down and test these. It got pretty close, but it did not really. Actually, we got this low down here. So the price came down, tested these lows here. We got this price action. So I generally would like to see to have the price come down, maybe at least this low, or even taken out this little low down here, and then once it does that, then generally price turns around and comes up. It is on a chop fast mode for now, because it's going all over the place. We can see this, the price is going up and down like this. So I might want to come out for another test, maybe want to take out these and then continue to go up. So if the price comes down and tests these lows here, then I'll be looking to a long for, so down here, let me bring up, so that level will be at 40.02, roughly about 40.02. So if the price takes out 40.02, then I will be looking to ride it up to these, after these highs, so 40.43. So we were looking about 40 pips on that one. This is pretty decent, but keep that in mind that price might just the volatility might even drop and just like chop around, might not cover much ground. So keep that in mind, that if you take the trade and it did not get to that target, so I will just like illustrate. For example, let's say you take the trade down here. Let me just get rid of the confusion. So let's say you take the trade down here, and you took for the stop losses down here, and then price kind of, you know, played around, go up, and your target is up here, right? So the price kind of, you know, just mess around and just going up and down and just chopping around, and it did not get to your target, or and you still in the sitting in kind of somewhere in the middle. Then, and if the news is coming out just about, let's say if it has 5 minutes before the news is out, I would suggest to close the trade, because yes, it might go in your favor and you make some profit, but if it goes against you, as I mentioned earlier, then you can suffer a big slippage. So you don't want that, and I would definitely suggest that you close out that trade. Even if you're sitting in a small loss, it's better to take a small loss rather than suffer the slippage and take even a bigger loss. So that will be my suggestion. I mean, it's up to you if you're going to take it or not. but you need to be, as I said, a responsible trader if you want to survive in the markets for over the long period of time. I'm here for the long period of time. I'm not looking for like a quick fix money to make the profit quick. I'm here to do, I'm gonna be doing this one for the rest of my life because I just enjoy trading. So yeah. So that would be for my analysis. I think I'm done with the all. Hey man, can't really I put open beat at AUDUSD. Can you play it AUDUSD? Sure. Let's go back to the Audi against USD. Okay, back to AUDUSD. So you place a bid, open bid at AUDUSD. Do you know what level? What level did you place it? Well. So this is okay. So bid, the one I mentioned earlier for the entry was a bit further down, so the price has not really gotten to that area yet, unless you already got into the trade at where this daily pivot is. Then the way it looks like right now, that the price is just coming more strength in here, so it might even start continue to rally up. Then if you got that trade in, you will be in a good position. For the targets, I'm sure, did I mention targets earlier or not? I think I didn't mention targets earlier. For the targets, you can run it to 62.98. Yeah, for the targets, you can run it to 62.90, about 62.95 area. We have this weekly R2, so that will be a good place to target. And depending what was your stop loss, if you use the much bigger stop loss when it does not meet your risk reward requirements, then you might want to just hold on to that trade and might run it. But then again, we have that news out, so keep that in mind, that you're not gonna suffer that slippage depending what is your stop loss. Yeah, let me just write it because the one is coming a bit delayed. Where is the place? So that will be easier to put it. So yeah, depends. Yeah, look, the way it looks like now, it wants to continue to edge higher. It's about 8 minutes before the candle is closed. So for now, it's looking pretty strong. But I do want to see the break of these these highs here, this one hourly high here. Yeah, looks like it's gonna break it now. It's looking good. And if it can also, this is not what I don't do usually. So if you can buy after break of this candle, you can just get onto, you might even put the order to buy after the price breaks. But I personally don't like doing that because it greatly affects the risk rewards, and I don't personally like doing that. So it's just up to, depending on your style of trading, but I personally do not like doing that. But if you are someone likes getting the breakout trades, then if you, let's see if, so right now price is 60 to 30, so more likely would be maybe 60 to 55. I want to see a bit more for that one, the price pushing higher. 60 to 55, and then for the, if we get on there, 60 to 55, so we have this 4-hourly R1, which the price is already trying to get and break that 60 to 50, 60 to 55. So if the price gets up there, So it'll be 25 roughly. Yeah, it will be looking for about 30 to 35 pips stop on that one, which then mean that if you're gonna run it to this weekly R2, the risk reward is not gonna be that good. So that means you need to hold on to that trade to run it further, maybe even to this weekly R3. Let's see what we got on to, yeah, maybe even to this weekly R3 or even these highs. Looks all right as well. 63.20, that would be a good, probably we're gonna be running to the 63.20 zone in here, but then again, because we have a news, that's the only concern, so you need to keep that in mind. Let's go to back to the chat. So I think that person left. Yeah, if you wanna, if you commented back, then I will try to. I'm gonna answer the if I did not answer that or what I mentioned it on the videos, then just try to comment it, either comment it or leave it in the chat, and then I will reply it back. So this video is already continuing to over 50 minutes long, so I think it's already reached the limit. I normally do about half an hour, 40 minutes, so it overshot that limit already. So I'm gonna be signing out. Thank you guys for watching, and I'm doing this daily Forex analysis Monday to Friday, 8 AM UK time, and I also upload weekly Forex analysis, and I do another videos about trading, so which will help you to become a better trader, whether it's psychology or about the strategy. And so I do the kind of videos which I think it will help you to improve your trading. That certainly helped me. So I use what I use in my experiences and what the lessons I learned. Then I do share that with my audience. So make sure to subscribe, and if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. That really helps me to produce even better content. So I will see you guys tomorrow at 8 AM on the UK time on the next daily Forex analysis. See you guys later. And the sign out takes time as well. So end the stream and end.